And so you should be able to finish the rest of your homework then after today. If you look at what it says up here on the board, it says to solve each equation. So the biggest thing we need to do here is, notice the first one, it says 6 to the x equals 216. Okay? So basically what I need to do is I need to get the number on the right here to be written as 6 to some power. So I need to figure out 216 is 6 to what power? And so I can think about this. It's 6 times 6 times, how many 6's does it take to get me to 216? Is that a guess or is that your answer? How many 6's does it take to get to, yeah, go ahead, use your calculator, that's fine. What'd you get? 3. So really 216 is actually 6 cubed. So now in looking at that equation, I see I've got the same base, right? But my exponents are different. And so my exponents in this case are equal. So I know that x has to equal 3. And there you go. That's all you have to do. So let's look at the next one. 5 to the x equals 125. So I'm going to figure out 5 to what power gives me 125.
3.
And the answer is what?
3.
3, 5 cubed. So in looking at that, I now set my exponents equal. What does x have to equal? 3. And there you go. So what do you think so far? Not bad? Okay, let's look at this one. 25 to the x minus 1 equals 5. 25 to the x minus 1 equals 5. And so real quick, let's think about something. Which one can I write as a power of the other? I got 25 and 5, right? So I have to figure out I've got to get the same base. What would be a good base to write both of these in terms of?
5.
5. Very good. So I know that 25 is what? 5 squared. Good rule of thumb is to kind of pick the lesser of the two if you can. So 25 is 5 squared. I've got x minus 1 now, and that's going to equal 5. But what's my power here on the right side? What's my power here? 1, because it's not written. So it's understood to be to the first power. And so now if I look at that, what I need to do is I have a power to a power here with the 2 and the x minus 1. Do you remember our exponent rules? What do I do if I have a power to a power? Multiply them. Very good. So I'm going to multiply the 2 times both the x and the negative 1. And so that gives me 2x minus 2. So now this is just like the other problems. What I need to do now is I need to set the exponents equal. So I've got 2x plus minus 2 equals 1. Basically, you get rid of the 5's, okay, if you haven't figured that out. So how do I solve that? Add 2 to both sides. Very good. So I end up getting 2x to equal 3. What do I do now? Divide by 2. So x equals 3 halves. There you go. Not too bad. Here we go. We got another one to look at. Okay, 12 to the 2x plus 3 equals 144. 12 to the 2x plus 3 equals 144. So I look at my two bases. I've got 12 and 144. What number should I use as my base? 12. What do I know about 144? 144 I know is 12 squared. Once again, it's one of those trial and error things. You can try it on your calculator if you want. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. So then now let's set the exponents equal. So I'm going to take 2x plus 3, and that's going to equal 2. So what do I need to do now? Subtract 3. Good. So I get 2x to equal negative 1. Now what do I do? Divide by 2. So what does x equal? Negative 1/2. There you go. Good job. So do you see how those equations work? Now you should be able to finish. I also want you to add 79 through 84. Now this is all. Okay, 79 through 84. Now real quick, I had some people in this morning, and so we're going to look at 68 and 69 just to kind of review some things. I know 69 isn't assigned, but we're still going to look at that one. So we're going to look at number 68, which is real similar to some problems we've had in the past. What does this 4 outside mean? Yeah, but do we remember how we can write that as a power? Is there another way I can write that 4 out there? 1/4, very good. So then now this is essentially the problem that we have. And so this looks a lot like some of those problems that you did earlier when we did powers to powers. And if you remember, what this means is you're going to distribute that 1/4 here and that 1/4 here. So basically I've got n to the 4th, raise that to the 1/4, over 16 to the 1/4 power. So what do I do with the 4 and the 1/4? Do we remember power to a power? What do? Multiply them, yep. So if I take 4 times 1/4, what does that give me? 1. So my answer is really n over. Now 16 to the 1/4 means what number times itself 4 times gives me 16? 2. Because yeah, if you do 4 times 4 times 4 times 4, that's not going to be 16. But 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is. Okay, so your answer in that case is just n over 2. And as I said, 69 isn't one that was assigned, but we're still going to look at it because it should help you finish some of those other ones in that section as well. 16 is a to the 1/3 times a to the 2/3. Okay. What do you know about the bases here? They're both the same and they are a. So now if I look at that, what do I do with those two exponents? Do we remember what we did? You add them. Very good. So I'm going to add 1/3 and 2/3. What is 1/3 plus 2/3? 1/3 plus 2/3 is 1. So my answer in this case is just a. You could have a to the 1st. That would be fine. Or you could just have a. So all you're going to do there is add exponents. Does that kind of help a little bit maybe? Now, tomorrow what we'll end up doing is I'll answer some questions at the start of the period as well before we check this. Okay?
So do you 68 for 70?
Yep.
And then 69 for
Yes. You need to finish your original assignment, which if you remember was through 78, the evens. And then now you need to add 79 through 84.